the BMW TII designed by Nazi hookers? Only Max Mosley knows the truth. I'm Matt from the New York Motor Club. Welcome to Garage419. Today, I'm talking with Mike Musto, Mr.Angry, from the new company, Mr.Angry Incorporated, also a C-list celebrity. Welcome, Mike.
Yeah, how you doing, Matt?
We're chilling here. We got lots to talk about today.
Indeed.
Big news, big news. Let's see. What do you want to do first? The first thing that I want to talk about is the Nissan GTR. How do you like it?
I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of the GTR. I think that its performance numbers are staggering, and I think that everything that thing does is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Except it's
an ugly pig.
It looks like a pig in a wedding dress.
Right.
It's just
it's ugly.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's been just beating the crap out of everybody. I mean, the cover Car and Driver this month,
dude,
it smoked a Z06,
right.
It smoked a 911 Turbo around Buttonwillow,
right.
And despite the fact that it weighs hundreds of pounds more, it's actually taking them in the turns.
And it looks like a Maxima.
And it looks like a Maxima,
and it looks
yeah.
like a Nissan Maxima. When you go in, it looks like a Maxima. And
all
I
right,
can't.
but it's a Maxima that for $70,000 will do 0 to 60 in 3.3 and run an 11-second quarter mile,
right.
And basically leave everybody in the dust. Everybody.
Right.
I mean, it's you know.
And then when they pass, they'll be like, the guys in the Vets and the Ferraris and everything else will be like, I just got passed by a Maxima.
Exactly.
Which, if it was a real Maxima, it would be cool in its own right.
Respectable, right.
But you know what? It doesn't have, and I've always said this about that car, it doesn't have that supercar feel to it. It doesn't have that, it doesn't have the fender flares and the cool interior and everything.
Yeah.
It's a lump.
It's
a
fast lump,
but it's a lump,
It's a good drivetrain with an ugly skin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that because it's a Nissan, it should be kind of a little ugly. I mean, if the car was not that I'm saying Nissans are ugly, because in general they're not,
I don't know.
But I think that for $70,000 the car shouldn't be perfect.
You know what?
I mean, and I know it's blasphemous to say that, but
nobody's going to argue that what that car does is simply astonishing.
Right.
And nobody's going to argue that those numbers are amazing and that it can drive upside down and do all the other bull crap that car does. It doesn't change the fact that it's not a good-looking car.
Well, what about the fact that if you take a stock car,
right,
bone stock, and put 102 octane in it,
yeah,
you're instantly jumping from 473 to 520
Once
horsepower.
again, numbers absolutely impressive.
So the numbers are not, they don't outweigh the styling of the car for you?
No, because you know what? The car's got to have some soul, and this car to me, it just doesn't.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, Nissan, great car, great engineering, extremely fast, but at the end of the day, kind of soulless.
Ugly,
and that's
prom date look. It's just disgusting. No.
Well, speaking of controversial looks, what do you think of the new BMW 1 Series?
Actually, this is pretty cool because I actually just test drove one yesterday, and I loved it. It's a little hot rod, dude.
What would you think about BMW releasing both the 1 and the 3 Series in the TII versions, which we saw some early renderings of? It'll basically be lighter weight, maybe some bigger brakes and a sport exhaust. Not much engine stuff, but aerodynamically and with some extra little goodies on it. I mean, would that be something that interests you?
No. I'll be perfectly honest with you now, because you know what because BMW is notorious. They're going to do this, and they're going to charge an extra $10,000 to $15,000 for this car. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see paying $50,000 for a 1 Series.
Exactly. Now, is it going the stock 1 Series after driving is a fantastic car. It's
0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds.
Exactly. And you know what? When you see it in the pictures, it looks moderately ugly, and when you see it in person, it actually looks really good.
Reasonably ugly.
Nah, you know what?
It's reasonably ugly. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is reasonably ugly, but at the same time, I don't particularly care.
But look at your choices in that price range. You have the Evo, you've got an STI, you've got the 135i, the 135i.
Mini Cooper, John Cooper works. Mini Cooper.
No, not even close. I think it's great, but for 208 horsepower, it's
you'd have to juice that one up.
Put a bullet in it.
Yeah. Put a bullet in it.
Put a bullet in it.
So if you could order, if the TII was just a lighter weight car, would you then pay a little extra to have some of that weight stripped out, or would you just strip it out yourself?
I'd strip it out myself, dude. I'd buy a 135, I'd pull the seats out of it, put a removable cage in it, and bada boom, bada bing, you got a real fast little stripper that you can kick everybody's ass.
I happen to like the 1 Series. I want to go drive one soon, and hopefully,
you will love it.
Beat the crap out of it.
You will absolutely call me and be like, you know what?
I really like it. I'm going to say you're right.
You are correct.
If I can find a car that will happily get me out of my Mini, I'll buy one. But until then, the Mini stays. Now, obviously, everyone's going green. Everyone's going green, and quite frankly, I'm sick of hearing about it. I get it. It's there. Let the scientists worry about it. But I don't need you driving around in your giant Tahoe hybrid with your 8 Tahoe hybrid stickers all over it. However, we may have a solution to that problem. Apparently, there is a tree in South America that grows oil.
Yeah, why did it... All right, I just heard about this. Now, how come it's taken, you know, modern man has been around for quite some time?
Well,
it took them to 2008 to hack through the jungle with a machete and find this tree that sprouts oil.
No. Well, they've known about the tree for a while, and it seeps out an oil product, kind of like a sap.
Was it like an
tree,
ethanol that they come out with? And then
no, it's oil that can easily be filtered and just dumped straight into a diesel car. The only real problem with it, the reason we're not switching to growing our diesel fuel,
oil trees,
is, well, it requires, you know, a lot more oil trees than you think it might. It actually, to produce the same amount of oil that Saudi Arabia produces in a year would require a couple 100 million acres of oil trees.
Okay,
and,
so basically you've got one botanist that's running around Brazil claiming he found the solution to the fuel crisis, but then Brazil's never going to touch it because then they're going to have to cut down the forest, and the environmentalists are going to... It's never going to happen.
And the other thing is that it takes about 20 years for one of these oil trees to mature to the point where it's actually usable. Having said that, it can produce oil for 90 seasons once it's mature. So as a long-term solution, if we start planting these trees now, you know, we might have a real good solution to make diesel fuel in 20 years.
Yeah, well, okay.
Coming up on Garage419, we got some more to talk about. We're going to talk about unique performance, and we're going to talk about my new favorite person in the world, Max Mosley.
That's pretty good.
Stick around. Garage419.com. Be there. Welcome back to Garage419. In the back half of the show, we're going to talk about some bad things happening to people.
But fun things.
Fun things, nonetheless. Unique performance. The saga of unique performance continues. It started out with people putting down deposits and not getting cars.
Losing their money.
Then they found out they had prisoners doing body work on the cars.
Right, because that's what you want.
They were using 13 gallons of Bondo on the cars.
Skilled labor.
They had those same prisoners swapping VIN numbers and washing titles.
Mm-hmm.
And then the heads of the company get indicted on 25 felony counts of fraud. So they're not doing very well. Then they auctioned off all the Mustangs for about $1 million, which leaves them still way in debt. And now to top it off, some of those customers that didn't get their cars are suing Carroll Shelby. The guy's 85 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what?
Leave him alone.
Shelby's not like a happy 85, okay? When you see, I mean, in 85 years old, this guy should have taken his money, bowed out, and been like, you know what? I'm going to have a nice life. Instead, what did he do? He's still trying to do all this stuff. The guy can hardly even walk. He's had 27 heart attacks. He's licensing his name to everything. It's
all
like
he did was license his name to a company that at first glance seemed like they were building some pretty cool cars.
Right, but now, I mean, I think these people actually, they're going after Carroll Shelby. This guy endorsed this product, okay, with his name.
But as soon as he saw something was off, he took back his license.
He took it back, but that doesn't change the fact that if Carroll did not put his name on this product, these people never ever would have put money down on these cars.
You don't think you think that nobody would have bought a unique Mustang if they didn't have
I think that no, honestly, not nearly as much as they did. I mean, the fact that Shelby lent his name to this gave this product credibility. So if it was just like a unique Mustang, people would have been like, I'm not buying this piece of garbage.
Well, so you think that despite the fact that the company has declared bankruptcy, some of the people got their money back, other people got cars, and they're going to jail for what they've done. You think that it should go further up the chain to Carroll Shelby's responsibility?
I think he's partially. I mean, listen, if you're going to license your name to something, you better damn well know what you're getting into because you are responsible for it. So yeah, they're going to go after him, and I don't want to see the guy homeless, but
well.
I don't have a problem. I'd go after him. I'd be like, I'm definitely suing you. I mean,
I see where they're coming from, but I kind of feel bad for Carroll. But in the taking responsibility for your own actions department,
this is fabulous. The
man of the hour, and God bless you for giving me so much entertainment. I love Max Mosley. What do you think about this guy?
I think Max Mosley is very interesting because, first of all...
Well, wait. For those of you at home who don't know, Max Mosley is president of the FIA, which is in charge of Formula One racing.
Right, so he has a very low-key job.
Right.
Not a lot of people know who he is in the racing
spotlight. Yeah.
Just keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah.
So now, what exactly did he do, Matt?
I never get tired of saying this. He was in a 5 how do I say this eloquently? An orgy with 5 Nazi hookers.
Nazi hookers, ladies and gentlemen.
Hookers.
How do you not
God
love
bless you, Max
Nazi
Mosley.
hookers? Because I mean,
in case that's not enough, his father was like real tight with Hitler. Like Hitler was at his father's wedding.
Right.
Okay, and so he's worked his whole life to get past this. Max Mosley is a Nazi thing.
Right.
Bernie Ecclestone had to say, no, Max Mosley not a Nazi. Now Bernie's hanging him out to dry.
Nazi hookers.
And to top that off, the Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix is this weekend. And guess what?
He's not going.
Crown Prince of Bahrain said, Max, no, you're not coming.
That's fantastic. That's like having President Bush be like, you know what? Don't ever come to the United States.
Yeah, I mean,
you had hookers at your party, and I can't be a part of that.
Well, you gotta love a guy who is stupid enough to try be on one hand trying to get away from his Nazi past, and at the other time is videotaping a Nazi hooker orgy.
Right, but let's get this straight though. These weren't actual Nazis.
Not actual Nazis.
These were hookers that this guy said, you know what? Do me a favor because it gets me off. Put a swastika on your arm. Well, I want you to be not. Now, didn't they whip him though?
They whipped him.
You know,
they whipped him.
Right.
And then he whipped them while screaming things at them in church.
Now, what do you think this is going to do to FIA? Because not for nothing, there's a lot of people that are going to be like, well, you cannot not look at this guy now and be like,
right. I think there's going to be an uprising in FIA, and I think he's got a couple months left, and then he's pretty much he's out like disco.
Bye, Max.
Thanks for watching Garage419. Leave a comment in this box down here if you either disagree or agree with what me or Schmucko over there has said.
Why I gotta be Schmucko? That's not
all
very
I
nice.
it's
You
all
just
I
mad
can
because I
think
said shoot the Mini.
Keep watching Garage419, and if you've got an idea for the show, give us an email. Suggestions at garage419.com. We love hearing from you. Peace.
Bye.
Do you ever sell?
No, you
never.
You can't sell. You sound like my wife.
I don't. I'm not saying.
Get out. Get out. Get out.